All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Shalom. Shalom and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming today with another wonderful message. And what's so awesome about this message is I learned a lot. Anytime you can speak and omit that you are learning daily, that is a step in the right direction in making one know that you are still learning, okay? And that you don't know everything. And if you're still learning, that means you don't know everything. And that's why he still is willing to teach you, because you have somewhere along the line, he knows that I am one that it seems as if I do a lot of talking, but he knows that I do a lot of listening. That's how I'm able to hear behind here, is when it, in true and out, it's the gift of the Most High Yah. But yet now he has taught me how to be just a good listener as well as a good speaker. Okay. So I come to you this evening with omitting that I, Sister Deborah, learned something I did not know today, this morning. And I say this morning because when I wake up in the morning, uh, I first go to the table and I do my Psalms, and I go into the instructions and direction book. But before that, I'm communing with the Father. When I get up, I'm communing. As soon as my eyes open, I'm communing with Him, and how I couldn't have awakened without you, Father Yahweh. Thank you for allowing me to have the sleep that you allow me to have. Just wanting to always feel that it's important for me to recognize He that kept me throughout the night. You see what I'm saying? And allow me to wake up to another morning. So I do. I give Him all glory and honor and praise. This is going to be a really awesome message. I'm going to ask questions so that we all can be involved in this. And I am excited because in me, I'm really wanting to see if it's someone else out there that the Father is connecting with, or willing to allow them to see how this too is something that we missed. All these thousands of years, we thought that we had it going on, even to the point of our newfound religion called, it ain't our, but the newfound religion called the awakening, or the Hebrew Israelite. And it's not a newfound. When I say that, I say within the last 30 years. I'm saying as far as them being on the top of it. And that could be also, it might have been longer, but because of the internet, they are able to bring it out to many others. But as I sit back and I think about how I was acting off the wall, trying to understand why is it they don't open the door? Why is it they don't open the door? And I sat back and I thought, wait a minute. You said you didn't give them the keys. Why are they on here? What are they talking about? And even today, I realize, even with the keys to the kingdom, it does not say you know A to Z. That's why I say he the way he has orchestrated everything, y'all, it is so off the chain. It is so all, I mean, it's just awesome to me, the way that he has orchestrated everything, because it keeps you in a form of wanting to know what his next move is in moving you from one step to the next. And I know that he moved me to from the step that I was on, and that was one that was completed. So you don't go to the next step in Yah until you have completed the step that you are on. So he told me he was going to move me to the next step, but the way he did it is not to get my okay, not when I said that I'm ready, or when I prepare, or the day I say. Y'all moved me without me even knowing. I felt it though. I felt the change in me. I felt the way I see, even when I'm reading and in my study time with him, I can already feel the change. I also with it, I could feel the movement. I mean, and with it, it's like such a heavy assurance in it. And it makes me really realize that we could actually be close, y'all. We could be actually closer than we think when it come down to Mount Zion, because I could not see me as a servant of the Most High Yah being taught daily and giving all this information and allowing me to go to the next level in him, to just put me to sleep before Mount Zion. It's got to be a purpose for it. And I think if there is a journey, which is said that we're going to go on, you're going to need individuals who can speak spirit and truth with the light in their right hand without the book. Because when you go on this journey, you best believe it ain't going to be a time for books. It ain't going to be a time quoting this chapter, this verse, and this. No. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's almost like something he's doing in me to seal for a time period, for another time period. That's the way it feels. And it's almost not just me, but those who are and have heard me in the teaching of spirit and truth and information for your backpack. I believe it's bigger and deeper than I even know. You even know. I believe what the Father is sharing. If someone says freezing, is everything? Let me see. Is there a problem with the? Can you hear me, or is it freezing? Let me know. Okay, then. Thank you. It's good to see you in the live chat. Okay, so I believe that there's a reason for it, you guys. And when he said that one, it's almost like he's saying, you just give spirit and truth. Okay, Deborah, you just have the light on, because I know would not be the only one on the journey. So I think that it's me saying the spiritual backpack and spirit and truth and the light in the right hand. I think that is all going to be a part of the journey that we are going to go on. I really do. I think it's going to have some, I cannot explain it, some sort of impact on the journey itself. I really believe that. And I think we are going to have things said to us. We're going to have to be able to speak to the multitude which is traveling on the journey with us. We're going to have to be able to speak with the power. We're going to have to be able to know that we can say something freely, because the power going to back us up and back us down. We're going to know that now, not wait until we on the journey. So I think the Father is, what he's doing right now is also feeding spirit and truth with the light in the right hand, and giving food for the backpack represent a journey. You see, you and I might think the backpack and the spirit and truth, spiritual food and the light, we're looking at that, we're hearing it, and we'll say it, but I don't think we really realize that which we are speaking of is actually what we are going to need on the journey itself. Okay, so I think that we thinking that we're just on here talking and learning spiritual food and the light in the right hand and the backpack, spiritual backpack. We looking at it as just something natural, fleshly and natural. But I think the Most High Yah has something planned. I really do. Just thinking of that, I think it's something He's doing. Okay, because Him constantly teaching me and bringing me to a level separate from the level I was on, because I know I'm on a different level, because He's showing me things I didn't know. I learned something today, and I'm like, wait a minute now, Father, how could we have missed that? How could we have missed that? It's enough, you guys, that we didn't know who the stretched out hand and the stretched out arm and the right hand was. It's enough that we don't know who the Son of Man and the Son of Yah is. It's enough that we lost the power, not knowing the power. It is enough that we don't know these things, and we're coming to this here end day, which is 2024. I mean, we are in dark times, and all kind of things is being revealed, and all things are being shown in the light. All this darkness, and we're running around here going to and fro and not really realizing how important it is to have spiritual food, how important it is to have a spiritual backpack, how important it is to understand spirit and truth, how important it is to have the light in your right hand, whether it's a pen needle light or a light that's bright. It is so important, because it's almost, if you really think now, this is what I'm saying to you now, because I'm feeling that thing. I'm feeling it. That could be a part of the journey. It could actually be a part of the journey. You see, to Zion. It could have a great deal to do with that. It could be a preparation, because the way He's showing me things, and like today, this morning, I was like, I woke up to talk about the chosen. So I went into the kitchen, going into the word chosen, because I want to be able to stress to many people out here on this devil platform, you need to stand down on this chosen. Because if you chosen, what are you chosen for? Or can you say? It's easy to say I'm chosen, but chosen for what? That's the thing y'all don't even understand. They got hundreds of people teaching on YouTube about the chosen. I think it's a work of the enemy as well, more so than anything. Because after you finish talking for year after year after year about the chosen and the chosen this and the chosen this, and this is what it means to be a chosen, when you finish, what are you chosen for? In the body of Hamashiach. What are you chosen for? To me, that is so scary, because you're saying chosen, chosen, chosen. You seem to know the right words for he that is chosen, but wait a minute. A chosen ain't chosen to have the right words for the chosen. I'm going to say that again. The chosen is not chosen to have the right words for the chosen. The chosen is chosen to serve the Most High God. They don't talk about that, you guys. You won't find not one. If you take out this today all the way into this weekend and even next weekend, and you listen to you like 15 different ones, you'll wonder, well, wait a minute now. They have been on here and got thousands of subscribers and likes, and they've been on here longer than a year. Some been 9 months, some been a year, some longer than a year. And they are on these platforms as the chosen one. But I, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness, I'm the one can step in you and out you. Because my calling is to call you out. Now, if you the chosen one for what? Chosen to do nothing? Is that it? Chosen not to edify and glorify and magnify the Most High Yah? Chosen to not recognize His power? Chosen not to recognize His throne? Chosen not to know who He is? Not His right hand do you know about? Not His stretched out arm do you know about? Not His power do you know about? And what I'm going to talk about today, you can't come near it. So I'm trying to really understand what it is that is actually going on with all these people taking on this platforms portraying chosen. But the best thing I can say is to pull them up in the twos. Put they bad boy tails up in the twos. See, the twos mean you are chosen of the flesh and not the chosen of the spirit. Because there's going to be two. Always. If it has been prophesied that many false prophets and false teachers shall rise in that day, your butt need to be looking for the real prophet in this day. But people don't. They seem to think that they can pinpoint the prophet, the false prophet. The way you can pinpoint the false prophet, you have to be false yourself. Because it's no calling on the earth from the heaven that you pinpoint the true prophet. You see? It's just like righteous. It don't need you on the left, on the right. It don't need you in front of it nor in back. The true prophet don't need to be justified, clarified, and identified. They know who they are in Yah. So they don't need to be okay with you. You see what I'm saying? But as a prophetess, I am to step into the things that I am seeing that doesn't what? Serve my most high Yah. So I say unto you, be careful with all these chosen ones. Just like you got a lot of people talking about narcissists. Oh, they are off the chain. And guess what it's coming to do? Destroy people mental. They mental state of mind. It's a way of, and chosen as well. It's the way to destroy you mentally. That's what it's all about. Because the word narcissist, you first have to find it two ways. Pull it up in the natural as narcissist, but you find that bad boy in the spirit realm as well. And it can be in the evil spirit realm, but just find that bad boy. Because it's not prophesied the way they're portraying it to people and teaching it to people. That's what I'm saying to you all. So I think that that's very powerful what I'm seeing. And as I was coming home on the highway, I began to talk to the Most High Yah about the chaos is that's actually and the things that's actually happening to the babies and the children. I do know over in China, they had the largest sex trafficking ring in the world. China used to have the largest sex trafficking ring in the world. And I'm talking about going way back, not just starting today. I'm talking about years ago. But when they start having the organ trafficking, they let the sex trafficking go. And guess who picked it up? United States of America. Years and years ago. So when you seen the missing children and all of this, that had a great deal to do with your country, your great old America. Okay? So I just wanted to let you all know that. But China, they still do it, but they was the number one, and they dropped it because the load for its organ trafficking came better for them. So they gave up sex trafficking, and that's when the United States picked it up and ran with it. And that's where they're at today. It's a sad thing in it because I had to go before the Father, and I'm going to go again. So he might as well get ready. I'm coming to your throne, Father, again. Because I want to understand when it came down to these babies and these little children and these kids, how could heaven sit back and allow it? You see? And I know that it didn't start today or years ago. It started way back in the beginning of time. I knew it. But what I just want him to give me some comfort. And he will. I want him to give me some comfort in it to understand it. Because I don't think there's going to be very much comfort. Because I think this same sex trafficking in this country, who's the head now over it, I think it's also in families. You see what I'm saying? That's why it was so heavy on me when I was on the highway, and I wanted to say to the Father, come on now. I want you to come real with me this time, Father. So that's something I'm going to continue to go to the throne until he can give me that comfort I need in knowing that all that is actually right here before me as I live. That stuff is taking place right here. Okay. About 6 days ago, he did something that was really strange. The Most High did something in a dream that was really strange. Throughout that night and that morning, I tossed and turned in a dream. And in that dream, it was more so like we were leaving, going somewhere. We as a people. I couldn't say the people I saw, but I'm just telling you the dream, in the spiritual dream that I had. And everything seemed so clear. And I knew, I can still tell you without knowing, that I knew it was coming from here to Mount Zion. And I wrestled all the way until like 9 in the morning. You know why I was wrestling, you guys? Because I wanted the Father to let me remember everything he was showing me in a dream. And he didn't. So I said, okay, I can't go back to sleep. I can't get it. So you're not going to reveal it. No, it's not time. But out of the dream, I remember it was about a bunch of people leaving from one section going somewhere else. It was about a bright light, in a sense, that was leading. And you know what? You know why I didn't ever speak about it? Because I was thinking he gonna let me go back to the dream and let me remember it. And he still haven't. It's been 6 days. He still have not allowed me. Now, when it come up again, I might not be in the dream. He will bring it back to Ruach, the Holy Spirit. It's one to bring things back to your remembrance, even your dreams. You see what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell y'all something. No matter what, he's gonna bring it back. That's one thing I can say about him. How I've gotten to know him enough to know he'll pull up on me in a minute with what he showed me in the past. That's why I know about this Ruach, this Holy Spirit, that is realer than real. And he will show up and he will show out. And I do believe it's us leaving here and going to Mount Zion. I really do. And you know, I say this here. I want people to understand this. We are not to look at it as like a second Exodus. We are not to look at it like that, because the way he's doing it now has no connection to the first one. It's the way it's rolled up for you to believe. And that's why you don't have too many people. If we got 100 million Judah, okay? Out of the 100 million Judah, only 8 million out of the 100 million know that they are Judah. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is this. We really have to detach the Exodus, as they call it, the first Exodus. I say the Exodus from Egypt. You got to detach it from that one. Oh, baby, it's a total different thing. It is so, let me tell you something. And once you can detach it, it's where y'all can take you. It's because he didn't want us to look at it like we do. We look at it just like we was in Egypt. We looking at it the same way, and we should not look at it the same way. You know why? Because we have something that they didn't have. We have him in us. We have the light in us. They didn't have that. They had the light above them. Oh, Father, yeah. But we have the light in us. That alone sits that one down and see that the Most High is doing a new thing. Another thing, they went to the wilderness. We going to the promised land like unto Eden. Almost back to, really, it's going to be like unto Eden. What was that? The beginning, the garden. So when they came out the first one, where did they go? To the wilderness. Hey, we ain't going to the wilderness. Did they travel? Yes. Are we going to travel? Yes. But guess what? We're going to the place where we're going to see our Most High Yah in a way that we never knew him, to the point where he's going to put everything in us at that moment. If you really, I tell you what, sit down and pull out everything that's going to happen with this one, this Exodus, as they call it, from the first one, you'll say, Miss Deborah, I did not know it has nothing in common. It will blow your mind to know the way we're coming out, we should be glorifying him right now because of it. It's totally different than the one that they came out of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Totally different. Totally different. And I can actually say this. The Father want you all to know that he heard the cries of Israel in the kingdom when they was in the land of Pharaoh. He heard their cry. We should know that automatically. And that's when he respond, when he heard their cry. Guess what? He don't need to hear our cry. He already gonna respond. Praise the mighty Yah. He already got it written in his heart. The day, the hour, the minute, the second. Even the land is waiting for him to pull up. Oh! When we start to realize where we are actually going, and when only way we're going to realize it, if we got to separate it from the first one, baby. The first one ain't got nothing on what he's about to do this time. Oh, baby, please. The Most High sitting here telling us he gonna come in the midst. And already he said once he restore it, all the other nations and the heathens are going to start to worship, glorify him, edifying him, and magnifying him. He said they're going to exalt him when they see what he's about to do. You get what I'm saying? To Mount Zion. Because they down there now tearing it up, think they doing something. They don't understand. He said, tear it up from the floor up. When I'm finished, all nations gonna know that I am. All nations gonna know all things was done for my name's sake. We today have gone through so much to where we should want to see the right hand of the Father. We should want to see the way he got it planned, but we don't. We want to sit down under men and women and let them tell us when it's the second Exodus and it's this way, and this, and we going in ships and we going in planes. Y'all said, don't tell him nothing. When your hands off, my hands is on. So get your mouth off where my hand belongs. But see, they won't do that. And this is what screwed Judah all up in Israel mindset. Israel don't care. It's Judah. See, they all looking at Judah. And Judah clowning. Judah ain't doing nothing to represent your Most High Yah. They ain't even deserving to walk to the promised land, to the journey. We ain't doing nothing to glorify the Most High Yah, to prepare the people for the journey in a way of glorifying him, edifying him, standing on the mountaintop, saying who we are. We on the corners cursing and acting a fool. We're in the camps. Our men are in the camps trying to be kings, leaders, and rulers in the land of their captive. You in prison, bro. Stand down, clown, and act like you got some spiritual sense. Because you done lost the natural. Okay? That wasn't my topic, y'all. But I want to get back to that. I'm sorry. I went all left field, but y'all pulling me back in. So my topic was to be about chosen, but I got in here and started going over, and the Father said, no, I want you to go here. I had no idea he was getting ready to school me. He was schooling me, and I loved it. But guess what? Again, we did it again, y'all. We missed it. Like we missed the power. We missed the right hand. We missed the stretched out arm. We missed the beloved. We missed Hamashiach. Hamashiach didn't even get the glory that's entitled to him. And that's the name, Christ, Hamashiach, that he's waiting for everybody to magnify and glorify, because that's the power that gave the Son of Man the strength to do what he did by shedding his blood. But you got to recognize everything Yeshua did, he told us it was of the Father. He never claimed it to be his. What he was saying, that we are one. When you see me, you see the Father. Why? Because when you see the power, you see the Father. When you see the Word, you see the Father. When you see the one that is the spiritual one, you see the Father. How can a man be born of a woman and born the son of man, and come down being the Son of Man, like you are son of man? You's a son to a man. You's a son to the flesh. So you have to know something came down with him. Hamashiach, the power of the Father, that's his right hand. He is the word that came with him. He is the power. What kind of power, Father? Gonna tell him? Yeah, tell him, Deborah. All power. And his spirit came down to walk in the Son of Man. Son of Man means flesh. He wrapped all of who he was in that flesh. And we still don't know. That shows you how we still don't know. I'm just saying. And even when we were speaking about yesterday about the power, it is sad. It is sad that we continue to walk in the full denial of the power. So how are we going to heal? How are we going to deliver? Why ain't we healed? Why ain't we delivered? Because you don't know the power. You can't use the power and you don't know it. You see? That's why people run around here saying the name. Baby, the name is in that power. Once you know who the power is, you know who the name is. But they don't want to know the power, so they don't know the name. And you don't need to know the name if you don't know the power. Because the power is the name, and the name is the power. The power moves on the word when it's spoken, and the word use the power to bring forth what it speaks. Okay, Deborah, you're supposed to be on charity. Okay, Father. So my topic today is about charity. I need some help from you all. I want you to let me know if you could tell me in the live chat the meaning of charity in English. Anybody in the live chat? What do charity mean in English? This is going to be an awesome lesson. And I mean, I'm telling y'all, this is what you call food for the spirit, for sure. Okay? Charity means in English what? Okay. One says giving. Okay. One says charity means in English giving. Okay. Anyone else want to pull up the meaning of charity in English? In English, the meaning of charity. To me give. Okay. Another one got to give. To me give. Okay. Anyone else wants to pull in and pull the definition of charity in English? And I'm going to help you all understand this is why we have not done anything like until the one we were supposed to mimic. You remember Yeshua came not just for the blood sacrifice to redeem us back, but to mimic. Okay. We are to mimic him, you know, and okay. Someone says, okay, so you were able to look it up and see. Okay, very good. An organization set up to provide and raise money for those that are in need. Now I'm gonna blow your mind tonight. I already tell you that. I'm gonna blow your mind. You're gonna say, well, but how did we miss that? How did that escape us? Me, 63 years old, I look at that and I said, Father, I do appreciate you letting me live to know that. But Father, we're a long way from home, ain't we? We're a long, long way from home, Father, y'all, ain't we? We're a long way, y'all. We're a long way from home. A long, 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 long way from home. Okay? So we did get 3. Now listen to this. This is what it says that charity means in English. You see that? Okay, did you all get that? Now, the next question, what do charity means in Greek? Some says given. To me, given. Another one says an organization set up to provide and raise money for those in need. So that's 3 really good ones that has the meaning of charity in what? English. Now we want to step in to charity in Greek. Do we know the meaning of charity in Greek? And Father, you know, I have to really repent. I really have to repent, you guys. I really have to repent because I'm trying to make a message out of this. And at the same time, it's a sorrow there. Okay. Someone says mean grace. Okay. So is that in Greek? Charity in Greek, it means grace. Okay. Anyone else? Aims and handouts. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now we got 2 in Greek. One, it means in Greek, charity means grace. And another one, aims and handouts in Greek. Okay. This is in Greek. Now I want you to understand that it's not saying that your answer is not right. Most likely it is. But I'm just pulling it up as since this morning up until 5 o'clock this evening, I did so many different search on everything in Greek as charity and everything in English. And then I did Latin. What do charity means in Latin? In Latin, charity means in Latin. Anyone knows? If not, in Latin, charity means in Latin. And y'all gonna be, this lesson is gonna blow your mind. And this is going back to what I was saying, similar to yesterday and the day before. We're not where we think we are. And that's okay. It ain't a place that y'all cannot take us if we're not there. And I think that's what he meant when he said, in the end day, knowledge shall increase. And let me tell you something. I'm a prophetess in the wilderness. I'm taught from the wilderness level. And let me tell you, I'm increasing every day. So don't think that increasing is a bad thing. That's a good thing, because he sees the value of who you are in him. Okay. In Latin, it means now, the last one, charity in Hebrew. The language that was said was to be spoken back in the Yeshua time and back in the, what they call the Torah. Let's put it like that. So we're needing charity in Hebrew. And as you said, it's love. Charity in Hebrew means love. Okay. Y'all gonna be shocked. You're gonna be very shocked at what you're gonna find out. And it's also, I'm gonna have to cover it almost at the end to let you know, this is why I said there's two, the words and the word. The words can't compare to the words. Okay, here we go. We got charity in Hebrew as righteous and just. Righteous and just. Now I know justice and just is righteous, and I know righteous is just and justice. Okay, so you're saying charity is in Hebrew is righteous and justice. Anybody else? Come on now. Even if it's just one more. Okay, we got another one. Righteous or justice. Very good, very good. Now, here we go, y'all. Now, what I just did is something very powerful. It is like a people, when they have a farm, they brand their cattle in case they get out of the stable and get lost or someone steal them. Their brand, their initial is on. I want you to understand, in the spirit realm, the Father brands his. Okay. And that's how the other nation was grafted in, because they were branded from the kingdom. Okay. Because the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. The lamb wasn't slaughtered on the earth. He was slaughtered in the kingdom. That's when the Lamb Book of Life came to existence. And everybody named that was written in that, from that same lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, not when they got down here on the earth. So that's how those others were grafted in, because they was already in the kingdom. See, everybody want to make this earth all that and some, this world all that and some. They didn't skip heaven. So let me give you that last one. Charity in Hebrew means righteousness and or justice. Justice and just is righteous, and righteous is just and justice. Now, Let me explain something to you. What Sister Deborah just did is went totally over your head. And I'm going to stop right here to break it down. When we went here into charity in English, we stepped in the realm of Christian and Roman Catholic. This is their charity, an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need, love, and goodwill. You all do not know 100 and I'm going to say, I'm going to round it off, 4,030 Goodwill thrift stores is in the world. Okay? 4,300 Goodwills are in the world. That's the name of it, a Goodwill. But in the Goodwill, you notice the logo is a half a face. Who would you want to deal with that got a half a face? Do y'all know who Goodwill, who's the owner of Goodwill? All the power punches that rules the world. You know, when he said principality in high places, when that's who owns Goodwill. Goodwill. Notice charity means in English an organization. Do you see the organization? Do you see the organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need, love, and goodwill? That's the word charity in English. This is what the Roman Catholics and the Christian support as charity. Okay? So now you know who put that in there. The Roman Catholics power punch, their power punch funds is set up by Roman Catholic Charity. I worked for them for years. It's called Roman Catholic Charity. That's another reason why they put in the Bible charity. Okay? Latinos, same thing. They also is connected to the Roman Catholic belief. And they got it, charity, to be love. Okay? Now I know this is gonna go over your head, but you all don't even about to know what y'all looking at. You don't about know what you're actually looking at. Okay? Then we had the Greeks, agape. How do you all say that? Agape love, aims, benevolence. Is it benevolence for the poor? Okay. Guess what? What is it y'all miss? How did it go over y'all head? Okay, let's continue. Hebrew, the language in which was spoken back in the day of Torah, back in the biblical. Okay? Okay, do you see this here? That's the Hebrew, righteous and justice. As you look at all four of those, notice the three have everything in common. Why? Because this is what the Roman Catholic lied to you about in your Bible, King James. Thank you. You're right. It's righteous and justice. Something that this country is not. Do y'all get it? Do you get it? So here all three, Greek lie. Greek is with Roman Catholic. That's why people always running and pull up. What did it say in Greek? Sit your Greek tail down. They set up with the Catholics changing everything to their definition. The King James Bible, all up in it, talking about charity. And you and I denied y'all's righteous over they doing charity. How can righteous mean what they say? This does not mean righteous, y'all. Do y'all not get it? Love does not mean righteous. Agape love aims and what's that? Benevolence for the poor, giving to the poor. Why? Because Roman Catholic is the only organization in the world that have funds to help the needy and the poor. And that is one thing they hide behind, because they know that they open that biblical Bible you all read called King James, and they put their stamp in it and said it's charity. Charity can't compare to righteousness. Do y'all know who righteousness is? So how did all three of them define charity every way outside of what? Outside of what? The truth. Righteousness and just. Something none of these countries have. Justice. Righteous. How did they get their belief charity? It never should have been charity, you guys. So what did the Roman Catholic did? They put their whole organization under. I worked there. I know. Their organization that gives to all countries and needy is called Catholic Charity. Charity. Catholics Charity. That's why I know the Catholic put it in there. Now watch this here. Let's go 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And first and foremost, I need to make sure I make this here, show you all this here, because Sister Deborah teach this big time. And I know some of you all might not know about this. You see what this is? It's called righteous belief and faith and fear. Righteous belief, faith, and fear. Before y'all send anybody down in their mother's womb that represent him, he brands you with him. Righteous belief, faith, and fear. He brands you. That's how the Gentiles got grafted in, because they were branded by belief and faith before they came down here in their mother's womb. You see? You all don't understand the power of who heaven is. It orchestrated everything you see on earth. So why wouldn't you give the glory there? And the honor and the praise to the Most High? Everything started there and everything gonna end there, because your spirit gonna come before the throne to be judged. See, people just don't get it. Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians. You all finna be shaking up here, because I'm gonna show you how they did it. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13. Watch how they did this here. And it reads, ooh, hey, 13 and watch this here. 13, 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13. And it reads, and now, abide faith. What did I just tell y'all? What did I just tell y'all? What did I tell you? Don't you see faith there? When you are of Yah, these are the brands that he has branded you with. You might not even know it, but this is how heaven brands his before they even come to the earth. He brands your spirit, baby. Okay? Now watch this here. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13. Now, this is what he said. And now, abide faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. What's wrong with that, y'all? Somebody got to tell me. Please tell me. Yeah, Hebrew is Yah. Somebody please tell me that. Tell me. Answer 1 Corinthians in chapter 13, verse 13. And it says, and now abide faith, hope, and charity. These three, but the greatest of these is charity. You see what you got? It should have been righteous. Their charity mean giving. You get what I'm saying? Taking care of the poor. They knew that if they put charity in here as the number one, we would see them, Roman Catholic, doing the charity, doing the work of Yah. So they took righteous and erased it and put charity. And when you even get into the definition in English, it can't compare to righteous. And if y'all can't see that, let me tell y'all need to go back to the altar of the Most High Yah. They changed it. They changed it. Now, how can charity outride righteous? And I'm going to show you how I can. And when I finish showing you, you're going to say, well, wait a minute, that can't compare to righteous. It can't. So who took righteous out and put charity? Or was it supposed to have been put there at all? Because who is the Roman Catholic to tell us which one is the greatest? Them, English, and Latin are all in it together. That's Christian and Roman Catholics. They all in it together, and they went and changed it, y'all, and put charity instead of righteousness. You know why they couldn't put righteousness and justice? It's because this whole country is founded under injustice, unrighteous. So they couldn't put that in there for the end. Y'all get, you see what I'm saying? So they put charity so that you would not understand or see that they switched righteous for charity. Charity so that they can get, because they are the number one in the world. Roman Catholic Charity is the number one in the whole world organization that funds orphanage, families, homeless. Yes, they do. I worked with them too many years. That's what they do. But that's how you know they put that in there. Charity shouldn't even been in there. Now look how they say, and the greatest in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13, and it says, and but the greatest of these is charity. You see that, y'all? They put their own definition in there. And this is what the Christians and the Roman Catholics, they all believe, and Greek too. A lot of people now, and I'm gonna tell you, I really feel sad for you all, because they just started cutting it out last year. That found out that the Greek was lying. In Greek it's not the original definition. Their definition is wrong too, and yes, it is. Who in the racks behind would erase my Father's righteousness so the people would not know that it is righteous? Why didn't we look for righteous, y'all? Why? Why didn't we look for righteous? Why did we look for charity? Why? Why did we look at the charity? Now, charity. Why did we do that? Why did we do that? Why did we accept that? Let's say if we didn't know it was the Roman Catholic powers to put that in there, which they did. This is what you call principality in high places. They stuck that in there and it represents them. In English, what does it? We wrote it. Let me show you. In English, charity means an organization. See, y'all? Look it up. Look it in your English dictionary. Charity means a organization that's set up to provide. That's the Roman Catholics. They're the number one charity in the whole world. Yes, Russia, China, they're all over Roman Catholic charity. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? Roman Catholic charity can be over in Ukraine. It can be over in Panama. It can be over anywhere, you guys, because that's how powerful they are. Several of them says in English, it tells you it's an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those that are in need. It's love. It's goodwill. So what is goodwill? Goodwill have 4,300, maybe I think it might have been more than that, 4,300 facilities called Goodwill, the thrift store. Goodwill. Who do you think own it? Roman Catholics. They the owners. Goodwill. Look at that. Y'all don't even see it, do y'all? Look at the last word. That's in your English dictionary. It'll let you know it means goodwill. So when you go and you see Goodwill store, the Goodwill thrift stores, it's 4,300. I think it's more than that. I think it might have been 800, but it's something like that all over the world. Okay. And it seems like it's nothing, but you got to understand, how do they get what they get? Free. People donate everything to them. They get it free. They make money from all the free stuff you give them. That's how crooked the Roman Catholic is here. They've been doing this for years. Now listen, their logo, they got a blue and white logo. And this is the logo. Why can't the world see that there's something wrong with their logo? The Goodwill logo is this. It's half a face, y'all. Letting you know. That's tell you right there, they sneaky. They cannot be trusted. You created your logo to be a half of a face. Come on now. You see what I'm saying? So, here we go. When I go to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19. I'm going to go and start shooting through because I don't feel you're really going to grip this. This is a little deep here. Revelation chapter 2, verse 19. I know thy works and thy charity service. Y'all missed it. You see how that was wrote in. Come on. You see, they're using charity instead of righteousness. Y'all ain't caring about your charity, what you giving. He's worried about your spiritual heart. So listen to this. Revelation chapter 2, verse 19. I know thy works and charity and service and faith and thy patience and thy works and the last to be more than the first. Now, how did faith get caught up in charity and service? Faith is a brand of the Most High Yah. How did it get caught up in? How could they have done that? How could faith? How is Yah measuring their faith if he's the brand of faith? Listen to it, y'all. I know y'all not getting it. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19. Listen to this. I know thy works and charity. If charity means in Hebrew righteous, I know thy works and charity and service. Now, come on. Your service and your charity Even your works has an S to it. So it's not the natural works. I mean, it's the natural works and not the spiritual work. And then it got on here, and faith. How did faith and patience get connected with your service and your charity? Now, if you say, and righteous and just and faith and patience, all of those are spiritual. But when you say charity, how is the Father looking, or how is it being said that he knows your charity? He's talking to the Roman Catholics. That's their God. Because our Yah, when he show up, he ain't gonna put your charity next to his faith, his righteous, his belief, and his fear. Those are his brand from the kingdom. So here you say your works and your charity and your service, that's in the flesh. Y'all, those things are in the flesh. So if he's saying, I know thy work in the flesh and faith in the spirit and patience in the spirit, it doesn't make sense. Because charity means, the true meaning of charity, the true word charity was switched from righteous. And you see charity here. That's right there showing you, even right here in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19, something's wrong. Because if you had to take this one verse and convert it over to Hebrew in the language it out of its original form, you will not see that word charity in there. You'll see righteous. Y'all get what I'm saying? So how is it even in Revelation, this word charity? They had the power and authority, like he said, principality in high places. That's truly who we're fighting against. The next one was 1 Peter, verse 4, chapter 4, verse 8. 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 8. Now, when we were in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 13, it was saying the greatest of all is charity. How did that get to be the greatest? What happened to righteous? They took it out. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 8. And verse 8 reads, and above all things, be, fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover a multitude of sins. Do y'all get that? How can charity cover a multitude of sins? How could that be? Now, if you said righteous, then yeah. Righteous stand alone. They don't need nobody on the left and the right. But these people talking about charity. They took the word charity is because their plans was to use charity for their organization and to rule this world. And that was one of their main words they used to enhance the minds of people to think that charity is about giving to the poor, hungry, and raising money, given to organization. And it told you in English, it's an organization that's set up. That's the Roman Catholic. You look it up in your English dictionary, it's going to say charity is an organization that has been set up to help the needy and the poor. So why did they put charity in here? Because they want you to always go back to Roman Catholic charity. That's what they do. And yes, they are the number one in the world, Roman Catholic charity. Somebody, say for instance, Catholic church burned down, they give them money to reestablish it. You see what I'm saying? If they want to open up an orphanage, they give you the money. The Roman Catholics a charity, give you the money to do that, but it's going to stay in their boundaries, not in their country or their continent and where they at, but in their control, under their umbrella, Roman Catholic Charity. So when you see 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 8, and above all things have fervent charity among yourself. Among yourself, y'all. For charity shall cover the multitude of sin. What is Sister Deborah really talking about? I'm talking about they put the word charity that doesn't fit in all these verses, y'all. Now, if you say righteous among yourself, now you're talking. But they switched it to the word charity instead of righteous. Total different definition and meaning. And the meaning that they give you for us in Latin, Greek, and English is an organization or aims or love or organization set up to give to the poor. So it's like giving the glory to someone else. And that's who charity is. Anytime a book can tell you the greatest is charity, and we know, who's telling you the greatest is charity? It's because they bent you through the Roman Catholics and through the Catholic, the Christian, to believe that it's charity that's the greatest. Even if they got to put love to help support charity. No, baby, it's righteousness, justice. And they got away with it. And no one ever said a word. Here we are in the year 2024, and no one ever said a word. Okay, so here we are in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12, and it reads, Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believer. You see that? Don't you see believer? In word. You see word? That's not the words like you see. It is the word of the Spirit. Okay. Now let's go back there. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believer in word. So what is that saying? Believe is what? It's one of the brands of the Most High Yah from the kingdom. Okay, now listen to this. Watch this here. Watch what it says. Let me finish that. And let me be in conversation, in charity, in spirit, faith, and purity. Now, how did charity get in there? Why ain't righteous there? It needs to be next to faith. It needs to be there with belief. Y'all don't get it, do you? You don't get it. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12. You see the word belief and you see the word faith, purity, and the spirit. Those are spirit brands, you guys. Where did charity come in? Because it's supposed to be righteous. They ain't gonna let go. They are not gonna let go. Righteous. Someone says, how do you define Yah's Love? You can't. You just have to compare his Love to yours. And we know his love, if we want to say he love, can't be compared to us as human. We're human. He's a spirit that is the creator. So we can't say the love that he's saying is the love that we're saying. So what do you say? There's no such thing in Yah as love. It's give and gave. That define him. That's the best you're going to get out of him. That's the best you're going to get out of him. Because before you came down, he gave you righteousness, he gave you belief, he gave you faith, and he gave you fear. When Adam and when Abraham was in the vision, scared as a chicken, it says Abraham believed. Wait a minute. First thing I said, how Abraham going to believe in anything? He's in the vision, scared as a chicken. How is he going to believe anything? And then what did Father do? Father Yah said, I tell you what, bro, I already counted you in as righteous. You see? Let him know you came in through the righteous, baby. I already counted you in as righteous because he signed him in the brand of righteous before the foundation of the world. So you standing up scared as a chicken, Abraham, in the vision, and you believe. He said, no, bro, I counted you already in righteous. That's what the Father said in the vision to him. I counted you in as righteous. So don't take righteous, and I don't know if you can see it, and do away with it, y'all. Because what it's telling you, every verse that I'm speaking to you all on, guess what? Righteous should have been there. And they took it out. So while they took righteous out all this time, and because when he said study to show yourself approved, he's still holding you liable for doing your own search in the definition in which you are reading. And not only that, and rightly divide it from really what it means. That's what we just did. We took all three of the Roman Catholic, the Catholic, and the Greek and the Latin charity, and now one of them meant righteous. We went to the Hebrew, and there it is. Righteous and justice. That's what they took out, y'all. So therefore, when you reading it and you see charity, place righteous, and then you'll see how they smear it up and down this book. And to me, will be the same question that I asked the Father earlier today. I'm going to have to put that one in there too. You actually allowed them to take away everything that a person needed to know about you yourself. But guess what? He knew you didn't want to know. That could be it. He knew you didn't want to know. Because if you wanted to know, you would be the one that's searching, studying to show thyself approved. Not trying to prove nothing to nobody else, but studying it. Now, when we got to Peter, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12, it reads, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believer. There go one of the brands in the word. That's who Yah is. Word. In conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity. How did charity get in there? How did they get in there? So you would not be able to see righteous. Another example. You don't have a soul. You have a spirit. You have a spirit and you have a flesh. The Roman Catholic put soul in there so that you will be confused what's what. And that's where 99.15 billion people are. They don't even know that they have a spirit because they so stuck on soul till they don't know that you too, baby. You spirit and you flesh. You flesh and you spirit. They put soul in there to confuse you, and it does. It making people think they soul gonna go stand before Yah. Oh, your soul gonna do this. No, baby. We all had a spirit that sleeps. Come judgment, we're gonna be judged. Our spirit is gonna judge. And guess what? our spirit is what's going to go into the lake of fire or into the kingdom. The kingdom is made up of the light, just like the Father is. So what is the light? Spirit. See, that's what people ain't gonna tell you. Where is soul going? Well, what's this thing about the soul? They put it there to confuse you. Why is the battle between flesh and spirit if the soul is in the middle? No one ever think that, hey, wait a minute, hold up. How could it be the battle be against flesh? He said it's not against flesh and blood, but principality in high places, letting you know the evil spirits. Okay? So where is soul? We can make soul whatever we want, just like this whole book. You got these whole King James Bible, and you got probably 4 or 5 different denomination coming out one book, and all of them saying something different. That's how messed up people are. So I'm sitting here saying, okay, Father, you let them take righteous out, Deborah. Even when you finish breaking it down, they still ain't gonna get it. So it's almost like he said, very few shall find it, Deborah. And just because you have, and I have given it to you, don't mean everybody you trying to break it down to is going to find it. It's just that hard. And I'm starting to embrace it as something that's so hard to find. They ain't gonna get this, Father. And if you knew how important it is about what I'm talking about now, it will really be blowing your mind right now. If you really knew. It's supposed to run you not to man, but to the Father. Because they have totally failed us. Not man as male, but human. Okay? So when I finished that one, and then I went to 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. I went to 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, now the end of the commandments is charity. Now, come on now, y'all. You don't see that. 1 Timothy, right, chapter 1, verse 5. Now, the end of commandments is charity, out of a pure heart, and of a good conscience, and of, there go, who is that? Another brand. You see that? See, you notice the brand is showing up, but where is righteous? You see what I'm saying? Now, I done read y'all 3 chapters and verse. Each one of them had belief and faith. This one here has faith. Why is charity there and not righteous? Here it is. This is the brands of the Most High Yah. Righteous, I'm trying to get it to you. Righteous, belief, and faith and fear. These are the brands he brand the spiritual ones with before they get down here. Now, in 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5, it reads, now the end of the commandment is charity, out of a pure heart, and of a good conscience, and of faith. Now watch this here. Watch Sister Deborah switch it back. I'm finna switch it back over, y'all. I'm finna switch it back over. I'm going to take charity out and put righteous. Now, here we go. 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. Now, the end of the commandments is righteous, out of a pure heart. What can come out of a pure heart outside of righteous? Charity can't come out of a pure heart, y'all. I know they got you thinking it means to give alms and to give to the poor and love and goodwill. Goodwill is the Roman Catholic main store they have. That's why they got them all over the world. You see what I'm saying? It's called goodwill. So they tell you that what do charity do? What is charity doing in there? And it should have been righteous. Let me say it again. 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. I'm going to switch it out of charity. And the end of the commandment is charity. But watch what I say. The end of the commandment is righteous, out of a pure heart, and of the good conscience, and of faith. What's that here? Unrenowned. Is that right? I think that's renowned. No, that ain't renowned. That's unrain, frame. I don't know what that word is. But what I'm saying is, take charity out and put righteous, and you see unframed. Now the end of the commandment, and you notice it don't have S on it because he ain't telling you about a commandment in the flesh. He's talking about the commandment in the spirit. And he said, is charity. But I say righteous, out of the pure heart. That shows you right there that they took righteous out and placed it with the word charity. And there's no word charity that's on the earth that define anything that is of Yah. Anything. Say, for instance, they put charity down, but they got in the English, the Latin, the Greek, a total different definition. So why did you put that there? Why didn't you just leave righteous? That's how easy it was for them to smear it and put what they want in here, you guys. Now, when you get to First Timothy in chapter 2 and verse 15. In First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith. There go faith again. There go faith again. Why is charity pulling up with the brand faith and belief? How can that be? Why is charity pulling up? Who's supposed to pull up? Righteous. So they switch charity and they switch righteous and put charity. Because if you only knew what righteous was, you would know already if you in or if you out. That's how powerful righteous is. Righteous is who Yah is. 100% righteous. Righteous stand all alone. It don't need you. It don't need me. Charity, it need everything standing on the side of it to define it. But righteous is stand alone. So when you look up righteous in Hebrew, you're going to see righteous standing alone. And then you're going to see it's going to say righteous or even justice. But it's letting you know, I don't need nobody on my side. That's how powerful righteous is. And for them to be able to get in this book and remove righteous to trade it over to charity, so you will never know where you're supposed to be standing with Yah. You will never know where you should be standing with Yah. Because he told you in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 13, and now abide faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest is charity. The greatest of these is charity. Why? Because the Roman Catholic placed it as their main power punch name. Catholic Commission of Charity. That's why they are the one who switched this. That's how I got switched like that. Okay. So when you get to 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15, it says, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in the childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now, wait a minute. Charity, come on now. Come on now, y'all. You all, when you're reading that, understand that's the switch over word, just like soul. It was added in to confuse people. Do you all understand? If you got 100 million Hebrew Israelites, let's say Judah, that's why so many don't have no connection to nothing. And you got 8% out of the 100 million that's claiming to be awakened. And the other 92 is just out there dead. So just imagine how are they going to get to here? How can they get to see that righteous is greater than charity? And that the charity in which they placed here, they placed it here, and in all languages doesn't overpower righteous. Some people would put love there. Oh, charity is love, but you ain't got nothing to definition that actually could compare charity to be love. Because if the Roman Catholics is giving, it's giving charity and giving funds, and they the number one organization on the face of the earth, then therefore they the only one that knows charity. So he ain't talking to nobody but them. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. They set it up to where it's the way we can see them in this book as the one that's doing what Yah has called to do. That's the reason why they put it in there. Is to cover them, y'all. And it did. We in the year 2024 running around here talking about the greatest is charity. And they charity, they laid it out in English, in Greek, in Latin, does not match the charity that they're trying to lay out to us. They're laying themselves out and took righteous out of it. You see? That's sad. That's a second Thessalonians. That Second Thessalonians. How could they have? And that's what I was talking to the Father about this evening. It just so much, and I want him to deal with me from the inside on that, because what I'm seeing is so much has taken place to where how can anybody find their way? And did y'all ever realize he says narrow is the gate that leads to what? Righteous? No, to life. And he says what? Very few shall find. I'm saying, why is it something you got to find? But today I see, because I when it used to say charity, I knew about charity not being charity. I looked at it as an organization or individual that's a giver. That's how I was looking at it. But when the Father showed me, no, Deborah, is supposed to be righteous in there. That's greater than that. Ain't nothing greater than righteous, y'all. It's nothing that in this book that is greater than righteous. Because that's the brand that his son he is down here with. Righteous. You see? And that's what's so important. And it says, and it says here in First Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. And this is why the people they can't find their way. So that's my talk with Yah in the car. How do you expect them to find their way? If they gonna add and this is what I was saying. I said, Father, here it is. The people don't know the power. They don't know your right hand. They don't know your stretched out arm. They don't know Hamashiach. They don't know which is Christ. They don't know the body of the body of Hamashiach. They don't know the saints. They don't know the church. Father, Yah, they don't know the power. They don't know nothing. But it going back to what Yeshua said, the gate that leads, the narrow gate, very few shall find it. That's why. And this is what I'm bringing before you all. And the reason why I think it's for you all is because it's a journey. I think that these things that I'm saying to you all, you're going to be able to take these to a place of travel. It's going to be with you, so you're going to know that you know. You might have to be the one that have to speak to people on this journey. You see? Because the things that I'm feeding you is not natural. It's spiritual. It's spiritual information and giving the power and authority and the glory and the honor back to where it belongs, the Father. Don't give it to the flesh of nobody, y'all. Give it back to where it belongs, the Father. So listen to this. First Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. And it reads, but now when Timotheus came from you unto us, and brought charity. No. And brought us good tidings of your faith. Why is it faith is standing next to charity? Y'all, come on now. You see faith? That's a part of the brand. In every one of these verses, faith is right. Faith and belief is right there by charity. Why? Because it should have been righteous instead of charity. You see? So it says, but in verse 6, but now when Timotheus came from you unto us and brought us good tidings of your faith and charity and righteousness, and that ye have good remembrance of us, always desiring greatly to see us, as we also see you. Now here, when it's saying that he brought us good tidings, notice one of the tidings of your faith. So that was a spiritual faith. It's the substance of things unseen, but yet believe. So you're bringing faith. You know faith is spiritual. So why is he bringing faith of your faith and charity? Come on. It should have been and righteousness. I don't know why the Father allowed them to take away. So I tell y'all this that I do know. When Yah said don't do something, it's because he knows they're going to. A lot of people thinking because some things he said don't sin, but did it stop him? He said don't murder, but do it stop him? He says don't lie, but do it stop him? You get what I'm saying? So he said not to put in, add, and don't take away. Do you really think he stopped him? Everything he said, he already knew they was going to do the opposite of what he said. Okay, now I go to 1 Corinthians chapter 8. How are we going to, I don't know how the Father is going to but only thing I believe, and I get back with you all on that, is that it has to be what we're getting. It's got to be for the journey. That's the only thing I can think of. For him to move me forward from another level and then begin to show me things that I never knew, then that's because we're getting spiritual food for the journey. That's the only thing I can think of. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idol, we know that we all have knowledge, and knowledge puffeth up. Now, knowledge puffeth up, but charity edify. Charity edify. Charity edify. See, they done stuck charity everywhere for all different definitions that they wanted you to know, meaning totally different things, but outside of righteous. It would have been better had they just, it would have been better for us to just see righteous for what righteous is, righteous was, and righteous going to be. We didn't need them adding nothing. But when they added it, it messed up everybody's understanding when they read. That's where he said, study yourself. But something else happened. He said, but rightly dividing. So they're going to divide the word of truth. You're going to have that ruach to divide the word of truth in you. So you will know the difference. It's no way I will let somebody sell me soul. It's no way I'll let somebody sell me his power, his stretched out arm, his right hand. Nobody on this devil platform will go into that and talk about the power. You know why? They want to talk about the things that boast and put the world on a pedestal. They are not coming to the area of where he says, and very few shall find their end. They're not looking. That's why he was able to say that few is going to find it, because he know that they're not going to be looking. Okay. And here in Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 8, chapter 8 and verse 1, 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edify. See, they have put whatever they wanted in there. And today, I told y'all this morning, I learned. And it did it throw me away? Yeah, it threw me all the way across the room. Why? Because I'm like saying, Father, you let them tamper with your righteous. You know, you righteous. You let them switch charity from righteous. Oh yeah, I already knew. He said I knew. He said I knew that they smeared it. I knew it. But to be able to try to break it down to a people who might not have known it, it's like they're going to be lost with the cause and without one. Because if they don't understand what righteous is, that's the no. He even told Abraham. Let me go there. Genesis 15. Let me show you exactly what he said to Abraham. And I'm like saying, okay, but don't believe stand with as a brand. But listen to how he gave it to Abraham. Genesis chapter 15. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 6. And it says, and he believed in Yah. He believed in Yah. Go back to Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1. In Genesis chapter 15 and verse 1, it says, after these things, the word of Yah came unto Abraham in a vision. So now you know Abraham was in a vision. See, he wasn't himself. So he's in a vision with the Most High Yah. And what do the Most High Yah say first? Look what he said to him. Abraham is in a vision saying, and the Father said to him, fear not, Abraham. I am the shield and the exceedingly great reward. Why? Why is he telling Abraham, fear not? Because Abraham was scared as a chicken. That must have been his first time in a vision like that with Yah and hearing Yah. You get down to verse 6, it says, and he believed, after all Yah said to him, it says, and he believed in Yah. And he counted it to him for righteousness. See, Yah counted him for righteousness because that's the brand Yah birthed in him. That's how he branded him righteous. And that's why I understand in the fullness, which I was like, how did you let them do that? They took righteous off the high pole and put charity. That's why people are confused when they teaching, y'all. They teaching it in a way in which it is said, not understanding. And you know why that could be too? When you understand that the Father is the Word and this book is words. That could be another reason. You either going to believe in the Word or you going to believe in the words. When you believe in the words, you got the Ruach HaKodesh living in you, teaching you. But when you just believe in these words, then you're going to get exactly what it said. And that's what you're going to live by. That's how they beat people with the Bible. That's how the church does such a successful thing, teaching people and molding them the way they want them to believe and teach it, because there's no ruach that's backing that thing up and down. Just the flesh of men and women teaching you from the words. These words can't override the word, because everybody would teach this thing under charity, not understanding that charity does not mean what the world said it means. Charity was supposed to be righteous, and they took righteous out and placed charity there for you, which means two total different things. two total different things. And it makes a lot of sense because listen to this. It means in Hebrew, righteousness or justice. Something you realize this country ain't founded under justice. This world is not founded under justice. So how do I expect them to smear this book and put justice and righteousness in here? They're not. They got to deceive the mass. And to me, they do a pretty good job at it. I think they do a pretty good job at it. Now, here in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, here in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. Charity suffer long. Charity suffer long. And is kind. Charity suffer long and is kind. Does that make any sense? It really doesn't. Not their definition of charity. If you say righteous don't suffer. For what? It stands alone. It's going to be righteous when it is standing and when it laying down, when it's upside down and when it's on the left and on the right, in the back, in the front, it's still going to be righteousness. So how is it here? It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4, charity suffer long and is kind. Charity envy not. Charity vowed not itself. Is not puffed up. Now it said charity how many times? 3 times. It's not envy. It suffers long. What I'm trying to understand is, how did charity get in that? If charity means what it means in the Greek, or what it means in Latin, or what it means in English, it says an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need. And if they're using it as love, Yah is not their love. And what love is that they place in here for charity? Their love? Because it's not Yah's love. And then they got goodwill. So I'm just trying to understand. And the charity in Greek means agape, love, aims, and doing for the poor. So how is that? Verse 4, charity suffered long. Charity suffered long and is kind. Charity envy not. Charity vaunteth not itself. Is not puffed up. Charity. Do that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense, y'all. Just look at in your book, your instruction direction, and you can see it. It doesn't make any sense. Not from the definition that it means in Greek, in Latin, and in English. English is the Roman Catholic and the Christian definition, charity. That's why they put it in there. I won't say so much as the Christian, I say the Roman Catholics, because the Christian is the shield for the Roman Catholics. They're the cover up for them. And all the Christians are not the wicked, evil power punch as the Roman Catholic. They're not. But they set up, follow under a lot of things that they're doing, but there are some that does not. They got a separate belief, but majority of them fall under it. Oh yeah, Christians, yes, majority of them do. But they got some that don't. So here is where I stand as far as charity. Now, where the problem came in is when I had to, this is where the problem came in. I had to go to Matthew's chapter 5. Matthew's chapter 5 and verse 20. In Matthew's chapter 5 and verse 20, it reads, "For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisee, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom." You see how powerful righteous is? So y'all walk y'all butts around here saying you holier than thou. You this, and you that. Sister Deborah done talk so many times about this. I told you these are the brands, y'all. You ain't going to come out of the heavens and back to heavens without these branded in your spirit. I can't convince you of that. You've heard too much other lies, which is darkness. Now I want you to take on what righteous is. Now you just heard charity. And I'm trying to see, charity ain't got nothing on righteous. So how did they place that word where this word needed to be? Now listen to this. Listen to what it says. Matthew chapter 5, verse 20. Just hear it. "I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." See, y'all don't really know righteous. See, I told you. You come out with righteous, you come back in with righteous. But if you ain't got no righteous, you can hang it up. That's what he was telling Abraham in 15. "Bro, I know you hooked on this belief because you fear, but you counted in for righteousness." See, that's what y'all don't understand. That's the part 99.15 billion don't understand. See, these are the words of spirit. These are the fruit of the spirit. These are the things you pile your backpack up with. See? Now, when you get to what is that next one? Matthew's chapter 5, verse 6. In Matthew's chapter 5 and verse 6, it reads, listen to this. And this is another thing that's telling you all, you ain't gonna pull up into nobody's kingdom, y'all. And they teaching y'all that, and y'all you know why? It's people thinking Hebrew Israelite in Israel. That's it. That's their key to the kingdom. And that's a sad place to be. And the sad mindset, which he said, Deuteronomy 28, shall be destroyed. The mindset. Because that's a lot of people. They can't separate Israel and Judah. They can't separate it from the power, the saints, the church, the Hamashiach. They can't separate it from the kingdom. See, they think that Israel and Judah is holier than thou, and they heaven, but they don't understand. No, heaven gonna have all nations, and this is what's messing them up. And this is why they don't want to repent. This is why they won't turn from their father's ways, nor the worst ways that they have that's worse than their father. This is the reason why. Because they just figured that, hey, people really thinking that we have to be grafted in Israel and Judah. Use a lie from the pit of hell. Being grafted in, talking about Israel and Judah don't make you to the kingdom. You go nowhere near the kingdom. He's just not telling you, if you ain't branded with my righteous, see where your butt go. So you keep on playing that game in which this darkness has taught you. And this is where the sadness come in on Judah. They have taught you all wrong. They made y'all and got y'all feeling all you need to be is Israel and Judah. And you in there. No matter what door open, you going through. But what about the branches that was broke from the root? There was branches broke from the roots. And the wild olive tree, which was the Gentile, got grafted in after those that were broken from. Who are they? They were Israel and Judah. Y'all better stop that. Y'all better get to know the Most High Yah for yourselves. One-on-one. A relationship with him. Not Sister Deborah, not nobody, but you and him. Now here it says, in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 6, hear this. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst. Deborah, tell them they got to hunger, Deborah. They got to thirst after what? Charity? After what? Righteousness. For they shall be filled. You got to thirst and hunger for righteousness. Why would you have to want that? Because it should be in you. And if it's in you, you should thirst and hunger because of it being in you. Righteousness, you guys. So how could charity be the greatest? That's what they said. Because they took righteous out and placed it with charity. So the Roman Catholic could be the greatest. And they knew what they were doing. So here in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 6, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. What does he mean? While y'all running around here thinking it's about all the things that's in your worldly life, what you're going to have, what you're going to wear, where you're going to be, what you got, what you're getting, guess what? You're supposed to be hungering and thirsting in the spirit for righteousness. And that's what Sister Deborah brings, the food for the spirit. I don't know what to say, Father, y'all. I don't know what to say. Let's go to 2 Timothy, verse 3 and verse 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. I don't know what to say. 2 Timothy, verse 3. No, chapter 3, verse 16. And it reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yah and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. Reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. That means what Sister Deborah is right here teaching you. It's righteousness that oversucceed everything you read in scriptures and in scriptures and what it said. Yeah, in the scriptures or in the doctrine. For reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And you all, I'm just showing you how righteous is the kingdom, y'all. So all this stuff they telling and change charity to make you think that's the greatest, that's override. It's been a lie. It's a lie, y'all. Charity cannot override faith. It cannot. Who told somebody charity overrides faith when faith is one of the brand? It can't override faith. And if you see what their definition of charity, you'll see what they say that overrides faith. Faith stands with righteous, not stand, but it's one of the brands from the kingdom to the spirit of Yah's seed. Okay. Now let's go to it's 2 Timothy 3:16, and it says again, all scriptures are given. You see that word given, by inspiration of Yah, and is profitable for doctrine. But listen to what it says. For what? Reproof. And what else? Correction. For what? Instructions in righteousness. Who teaches y'all that? Tell me one person you heard on these platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, that spoke to you about righteousness. Do y'all understand what righteous is? It's, to me, it feels like it's his robe, the Most High Yah's robe. Okay? Or his skin. He ain't got skin, but I just say, just him. But his robe, just put it like that. He is righteous, and he just told y'all. So I don't know how their charity is overriding and succeeding his righteousness. And this is what get people confused and think charity is the number one. And it's not. Even though they got these different definitions, but all their definition takes you away from the word righteousness. Okay? So when we get to where is it at? When you get to 1 John chapter 2 and verse 29. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 29. I'm going to read one more, and then I'm going to answer questions if anybody have any questions. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 29. Verse 29 says, if ye know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that doeth righteousness is born of him. What did I tell y'all? Where is it at? What did I tell you? That's one of the brands. And if he is righteous, you are righteous if he has branded you with righteousness. That's one of the brands. Hear what it says. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 29. If ye know that he is righteous, ye know that everyone that doeth righteous is born of him. Born of him. Those that are born of the Spirit, it's going to have the brand of righteous, the brand of belief, the brand of faith, the brand of fear. So when he grafted them in, they came in through belief of who? Yeshua HaMashiach. Through what? Faith and belief. They were branded with faith and belief, and that's what's getting them back to the kingdom. Faith and belief is what's getting those that have been grafted in back to the kingdom. So when you go to 1 John chapter 3 and verse 10, 1 John chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, in this, the children of Yah are manifested, and the children of the devil. Now see that? In this, the children of Yah are manifested, and the children of the devil. See, a lot of people thinking that the seeds of Satan is Satan's, as if Satan had the power to develop his own seeds. No, he didn't. First and foremost, that seed got to have the breath and the image of Yah before Satan can do anything with it. See, that's why I'm saying we overstep our boundaries, giving Satan all this power and this glory and all this tough stuff. But we don't even understand that Satan don't have nothing that Yah ain't gave him, even his seeds. Okay, so here in 1 John chapter 3 and verse 10, in this, the children of Yah are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever do not righteousness is not of Yah, neither he that loveth not his brother. See, here he's letting you know Yah's is what? Do it righteousness, because righteousness is already manifested in them, y'all. These are the brands that's manifested in the spirit of man. You see what I'm saying? So even though the flesh might do something wrong over on this end, he's still branded with the righteousness, the belief, faith, and fear of Yah that's going to get him straight. Because the seed has all the things that it needs to chastise the flesh. Anybody in the live chat, anybody have any questions? It can be about the topic or something you want to add onto the topic or questions. Okay, we got time for questions. Righteousness. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't know how they got away with putting that on there. I don't know where they get. I don't know how they. Yes, I do know how. It's just so amazing this morning when he was teaching it to me, and I was saying, "But Father, why would you let them do that?" He said, "Deborah. See, because I always put it before him. I know that he created all things. Okay, so when I'm asking him that, it's because I know he still had the power over all things. So I'm like, okay, but because when I was coming home, I was thinking about, because I was listening to something and I was hearing all about what is going on and what has been going on even before I was born. I mean, regarding these babies being and something in me can't understand. And I guess it's not, he hasn't given me the words to say it, how people, Satan mind as well as their mind. I believe Satan, I believe flesh has the worstest mind. Mm-hmm. And I really do. And when Satan see the trash that's in the flesh of the mind of an individual, he know he don't make it any better, because it's just too much stuff is going on. Anybody have any question? Exactly. Very good. That's very good. And it says, she said, there's many that gives that like their version of charity, but when you know who they are inside, it's not it is no characteristic of the Father. Why? No righteous at all, because they can't fake that. See, and that's the thing. They're using charity as a mean of representing your Father in the kingdom. But when they finish using that word and smearing it to fit their outer man characteristics of representing the Most High Yah, they still have no righteous. That's why they put charity in there, so they can use it to cover. That's why it says charity what covers. Listen to what it says. Charity covers a multitude of sin. You right, Roman Catholic, because you didn't. Oh my God, you showed them carry. I mean, you didn't cover the whole multitude of sin. That is so true. That is so true. When that said that is it's told on them. You say you don't understand. Oh, okay. You don't understand. And you know what? That's how all my life since I was 4. I didn't know what I was reading, but I was pulling out the, a, not, mine. Those words I knew. And I thought but guess what? I thought I had it nailed. But guess what? The Most High been dealing with me since I was 4 years old. He did not deal with me based on a name. He did not deal with me and show me things and reveal things to me coming up throughout my whole life based on who his name was or anything. It was always like he was always ever present. Always. So it wasn't that this book taught me. You get what I'm saying? This Bible didn't teach me. He taught me from the inside. And that's where it's a good thing, because that also shows you that it might pay off that the Ruach deal with you one-on-one himself, because he can show you things that man is not going to reveal. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, I've been on here 6 years and I have not heard nobody speak on nothing I talk about. When I say nothing, maybe every blue moon, maybe once a year. But their topics is covering the whole world and trying to bring the world above y'all. And I'm not for that. Yeah, they do it for gain. Have you all seen the logo of Goodwill? That's a part of charity, Goodwill. They got good -will. And people really think, and they use that goodwill. It's in their definition of charity. You see, that's in the English definition of charity, goodwill. And this is how they open up all those goodwills. But when you see the goodwills, their main logo, all these hundreds and hundreds of years, it's been this, a half a face. So when you see their logo, it's a half a face. Try to figure that out. Why would they have a half a face? Anybody logo that's a half a face, that means you better not trust them. They can't even show their whole face. They're showing you half. Something wrong with that. One eye, come on now. The eye on the dollar, come on now. See, it can't be two eyes. See, they sun the signs, but we've been in so much darkness, we don't want to see no light at all. Nowhere to be near. Because when I'm sitting here saying that to you, automatically it should come on your light bulb should come on. Wait a minute. If that's goodwill, you see that one CNI that's on the dollar, and on many things you see the one CNI. It's still connected to the principality in high places, the spirits that runs the whole world, because Yah has allowed them to. But that's Satan's crew. Okay, that's why they have. But I can't explain it, y'all. Why y'all let them get away with that much sick stuff? I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Woo, Father Yah! I'm telling you, I cannot explain it. I can't explain it. The deception is thick and dark. I see why Yeshua said, don't be deceived. Deceived in the end days. Yep, he sure said that. He shows, and that's what he and you know, if he told his disciples, you know, what should that mean for us? Matthew 24 and 3 and 5, he was on Mount Olive, a private place. Mount Olive, where he was at, that was a private location they went up to. And they wanted to ask him this question, and he told them, be not deceived. So if he told his disciples, and the disciples mentioned this to us, so what should that tell us? He first told them, because they wanted to know what will our end days be like. He said, hold up, bro. First and foremost, don't y'all be deceived. You see? Because that's one of the biggest things is, and we all can be deceived. We have been deceived. We still are deceived. You know what I'm saying? That's why that what you call grace and that mercy is still allowing us to hold on until we get a little light. That grace and mercy is holding us up till we get a little food for the spirit. That grace and mercy is holding us up until we get spirit and truth. That grace and mercy is holding us up until our spiritual backpack is full. Because I truly believe the journey itself is going to require you to have something in your spirit in the journey. Right. See how you broke that down? You said putting charity in there is like making people think they could come into the kingdom some other way. Why do you think that you got a lot of charities? Look at them. You got a lot of organizations think it's about their charity part, the part that they give charity. Do you know that? They think it's about, they treating all race, they treating even us like trash. But since I'm giving money or giving to the hungry, or I'm giving charity to the what you call it, to the homeless, or to the hungry, and I'm giving, and do you know, you don't even understand what you wrote just then. Many of the churches are doing that too. They thinking if we give them some old canned goods and some old dated food, we're giving charity. We're doing the charity work. Ain't no righteous in it. So what difference does that make? One thing I cannot stand is when people give people old food. You don't need to be going out here going to no food bank getting everybody's old food. When he fed the 1,000, he gave them food that hadn't even been in the sea. He gave them a fish that hadn't even touched the sea. He gave them bread that not a woman or man had been on. And now one of y'all even knew that. He gave it to them from the heavens. See, all there was 2 loaves and 5 fish. But when he was finished, he gave, they so ignorant. Oh, Deborah, they so ignorant. They didn't understand what you had left was what you had at the beginning. I gave you food from heaven. Well, I don't know where y'all got that from. See, and now y'all didn't know that, did you? You didn't know it, did you? See, they sitting here trying to figure out, we still had it left over. You got left over because he didn't use that. He uses the fish and bread from heaven. He don't give nobody nobody's leftover. That's why you had that leftover. See, they didn't even grip that. Even then, they still don't know. 5 loaves of what did it say? 5 fish and 2 loaves. When it's all everybody was fed, that's what they had left, because that's what they had at the beginning. They were too ignorant to realize you got food from the kingdom. So why would we do that? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. And the Father in heaven know that I wouldn't do that. Why would I go give you food that I don't even eat? Beans and green beans and canned food full of sodium and even if it's updated or downdated, it's full of sodium. I don't give to you what I don't give to my own kids. No way. I don't eat myself. No way. Oh, collecting canned goods. No. Canned goods, your tail somewhere and sit down and get them people a gift card for food. Stop that trash. This is how they get away with covering who they are. It's as long as they give you something, they figure that, okay, we can just give you anything. And that's good. We can be the charity. And that's what all the churches are about. All the churches are about. All of them. From all of white, black, all of them. If you see what their food bank is about, and no, if you see what their food storage is about, it's going to food bank and packing up stuff to put it in their church and give to you like they giving you something. Talking about charity. And then turn around tax season, write it on there like they done gave you something and know that they went to the food bank to get it. And that food bank is an organization that helped the Catholics, y'all didn't know they did you, get food from all the stores all over the world. They pile the food up and use it in warehouses. And all the 401k, whatever, I think that's the name. What is it? 501c and all that. They can go into that storage, pile up all their food houses, bring it back to their church, and give it away like they're giving you something as a charity, and can't wait to put it on taxes. Y'all, shoot, these people been cutting up from the floor. And see, that's what I was saying to the Father today on my way. I said, well, Father, they've been doing that to these babies for a long time. And I was trying to explain that to y'all about 8 months ago, how many of the father that has touched their children, and how the mothers back then failed the children, and the grandmothers and the great grandmothers, they allowed these men to do what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it, just to have that man to come back every 4 or 5 days or a week, having him to come there to eat, bathe, and get him, she'll buy my new outfit, and he back out there to the next woman. And then, that's how the women were yesterday, y'all. Y'all need to stop that lying. Y'all lie too much. Tell the truth and shame. But the Father said, they ain't gonna do that, Deborah. You can hang that up. They ain't gonna do that. Because I sat back and I was thinking, I said, well, Father, they kidnapping them babies, though, Father. You know they taking them babies. They got all them babies over there. Father, they doing things they ain't got no business doing to them babies. But Father, you know they doing it. You know they doing it. But your eyes sees it, Father. How do you feel? I mean, I'm human, and I said, Father, how do you allow? It just got me so loaded today, to where I'm gonna tell you the truth. My whole thought was like, come on now, you got to be realer than that. I mean, I was just in it. I was just floating in it, because the reality of what I'm saying is way beyond what I'm saying. They actually got that child. And we will walk around not even talking about or saying anything like it don't exist. So when we see darkness, we see it the way we see darkness. You ain't seen darkness, baby. It's pitch blue, black out here. It's real bad out here, y'all. And that's how I learned it's been almost a month that I was as the world would call it, an empath. An empath. And it's connected to the spiritual realm. And that's how, as I listen to all these people who are, and those different doctors and everything that says that's how a person is in their flesh. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, that sounds like me. You mean, Father, yeah, you gave it both ways? He said, the strongness of your spirit has gotten your flesh under subjection. And that's who your flesh is. I said, no wonder you've been dealing with me since I was a little girl. That's why. And I'm telling you all, I'm like saying that makes sense. And really what made me really think about that definition and how they got that listed, and how it taps into the spiritual realm, takes the flesh into a higher level of feeling. How many times I tell y'all, I feel it. I can feel your vibes. I can feel your thoughts. I can feel it. I've been like that since a little girl. And now I'm hearing what the world calls that empath. And I'm like saying, but that's everything I do. That's me. And it blew my mind. So when I turned to the Father, he said, that's when your spirit has dominion. It contains that flesh. And the flesh becomes what the gift has been, what the spirit has been given in its gift, and it rolls over in your flesh, Deborah. That's why you have that ability. I'm like, and then you hear the doctors and the professionals say, and we think it's got something to do with a spiritual, your spiritual side. And I'm like saying, no, they didn't. That's what y'all just said. I said, no, they didn't. So it just shows you the world are doing all kind of things, but they believe in another thing. They doing things to cover up the light, but they know that the light exists. I put it like that. Yes, he can. I hear a lot of people saying Satan knows the scriptures left and right. Because they crooked like that, babe. And I think, did I say it right? 501c or something. And hey, y'all didn't even know it, okay? Y'all wouldn't even believe it. They got places here in each state. And this is why you got so many homelessness, y'all. This is why you got people hungry. It's when the wealth, the rich is taking and not allowing the funds and the money that is given for them, they taking it and putting it in their account. These are the organizations under the Roman Catholics. Y'all don't know it, but and the Lutheran too. That's still to me like the Roman Catholics. You said they didn't bring no money where they do that at. I don't get that one. Recognition, glory, and other hidden agendas. You so right. That's right. That is so true. But listen to this. They are gaining. Or have you noticed? When you see people out in these tents and out here homeless, that's why they're like that. Because they are taking from them and setting it up as organization. And let me Angela, the one that got the 5 facilities, healthcare facilities. Angela is what you call an expert, what you call it? You know how you write up to get money from the government and the state and the federal? Well, Angela is what they call an expert at it. She know how to pull all that money down. When they pull that money down, they give it to them, and they have to show them every year what were you doing to your community, to the hungry, to the homeless. So all they have to do is write it up as if they did something, so they can get that same $1 million a year. That's why I'm trying to explain to you all. That's how they getting it. And that's why you see more and more homeless and out on the streets. The reason why I think it's kind of sad for us to even be talking about that, where you know that the money can be for them. Look at how they're giving all the money to the migrants. You see what I'm saying? You see the lie? See, y'all don't get it. You see the lie? Now, all them people was out on the streets, homeless, no food, no shelter. But you're going to bring others from all over the world and give them finances, housing, food stamps, Visa card, as if you ain't seen all that homelessness and hungry people out. And if y'all can't see that, y'all can't see. You see? This is their charity. And anytime something happens, you can come up with money to do everything from someone over in another country here and another here. But here are these people out on the streets, and you can't even give them a sandwich bag with food in it. None at all. And that's sad. But that's the reality of that is out here. This is not something that Sister Deborah said that you ain't seen. Now, you might deny it and turn your head the other way, figure that that's them. That ain't me. But the reality is exactly what we're talking about. How could you be the #1 Catholic charity, commission of charity in the whole world, from Italy to German to Russian to China, all over the world. Key it on the internet. And I'll mess you up to see it. You gonna say that lady wasn't lying. It's on there, y'all. It's on there. A grant writer. That's it. That's who Angela is, a grant writer. She can pull that money down, y'all. She can pull it like it's raining, and the government give it to her like it's free. And she be, last time I went into her office, I remember telling her I ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. And I ain't ever dealt with her after that. And that's about 9 years ago. I never dealt with her on that again. She was trying to pour money so that all her families can get a house. And the government has this program where they are offering homes. But by her being a grant writer, she know all about what the government have in state and in federal that they can offer the community. Wait a minute, is that my battery? Oh, sure is. So Angela started doing crooked mess. And I did pray that the Father don't let her get victory in what she was trying to do. And I walked out. And I know she thought I was going to give her farewell, but I told her, no, Angela, girl, you about to get yourself into something. She wasn't expecting me to come that day, no way. So she was shocked to even see me. So she thought that she's going to be able to show me what but she said, but look here, Bobby, look what they doing. Look at all this, look at this, Deborah, look at it, see here. And true enough, the government has it. And that's where a lot of Europeans end up getting it, because our people don't know how to get it. And what she was trying to do is get it for her families, all her brothers and sisters and cousins and all. She was trying to get it for them, all because she got that power to bring that money down from the government system and write them grants. Oh, she real good, y'all. She can bring any money for any hospital, any organization. She's good at it. And I know they pay her a whole lot to write theirs, any of them, but she does that too. She got 5 facilities, healthcare facilities, but she do that grant writing. That's crazy. But don't you see exactly what we was just talking about? You see all these people out here, but yet you're going to turn around and give people who don't even stay in this country. And notice, this is where Sister Deborah said this, and y'all might get offended. I try to tell y'all, this is the dumbest country in the world. Even though you all thought it was the smartest. It was the powerful this, and it was the this, and it was the that. No, it wasn't. It was the crutch for Israel, the faith. It held them up and got all the other countries to feed them money. That's what this country did. So it was just a crutch for them. That's all this country was about. And after that, you see, watch how they tear them down. They ain't got nothing else to do with them after that. Matter of fact, it's already falling. It fell already. You know, we just still waiting for the debris because we thinking it's gonna come down with a bomb. No, baby, it's gonna come down way, way before that. And yes, you got all these homeless out here, all these people, and none of them, but they giving all this to the migrants, and the migrants going around killing everybody because it's their fault, but this country put out to when they went to the meeting, the UN meeting, that at this time we're going to have all countries to send in their prisoners, their mental patient, and they did it. They did it. It wasn't no such thing as Trump was trying not to build the wall. Trump wasn't trying to build no wall, y'all. You was in there long enough to build a wall. You weren't trying to build no wall. That was just a part of the and the sad thing about it, I don't know why people are in this politics. None of it have done anything for them. I don't know what the mind, the country, they mind. They like he said, everywhere he scattered Israel was likened to who they are. That's what it says. That's where he scattered us, likened to who we are. And we got that same mindset as this country do. Don't give a rat's behind. Can't see nothing, don't care about nothing, don't know, just whatever. Oh yeah, that's the only way they survived. That's the only way they survived. Evil hand and evil. Mm-hmm. That's the only way they survived. The only way they survived. But I really was kind of hurt, y'all, to know that why did all of their charity from Greek to English to Latin, how did all of y'all charity means something different in Hebrew? Totally different as the north as to the south. How could that be? And that bothered me. So I said, so what happened? He said they don't know. Because he know I know about righteous. I know about righteous. I know I told y'all time after time, righteous stand alone. It's power. It's one of his main brand. But I had no idea they switched it over so the people couldn't understand righteous, just like they did with soul, just like they did with his power. Right. She's a grant writer. And let me tell you something, she's one of the best. And I never forget. I remember when she was in it and she was in that politics and she asked me if I come talk to her. I went down into her office and she just is crying. She said, what should I do? It's bumping up against my spiritual being. I said, Angela, you got to make a choice. And she chose the darkness. Yes, she did. She chose the darkness and went that way. That's why she's still in it. And that was 20 some years ago. That's why she's the CEO now. Mm-hmm. Of all 5 facilities. She wasn't the CEO then. She was the grant writer and the accountant of the companies. But now she's the CEO. Yep. All of them organizations is like that. And her organization was set up to help others in their community and stuff. She's trying to get her family houses. And I said, what program is that? She said, here it is. She went to her board in her office. She broke that thing. She said, but look, Deborah, it's so much money. It's so easy, Deborah. I got to go after it. I said, Angela, I'll leave all that mess alone. Because I was coming from a righteous standpoint. That's what I was coming from. I don't care if you're a grant writer or writer grant or what you are. You're doing this wrong because you're doing it for your family. It's nothing wrong with doing for your family, but you're speaking of getting all this government money, portraying you doing it for the community, but actually you're doing it for your family. I don't know about that, Angela. I'm done. And I told her I got to get out of here. She said, you don't think it's summer? Nope, Angela, I ain't gonna okay that. I ain't gonna speak on none of that. And that's the last time I saw her. I sent her a proposal for the cleaning service, and she still refused to give us the contracts, which I said, that's still okay. It don't matter. Because I looked at it, I said, now, Father, you gave me until next year, to the end of this year, to work with this cleaning service. And I sit back and I said, but I put out 200 letters for business, a commercial. And then I put out 174 apartment complex for the cleaning service. Do you all know we got one contract walkthrough for a bid? We did that walkthrough of that building, and it was a Black woman who was over all these facilities. And she wanted us to get it before, she wanted us to do all of it before, I think it was the 1st of June. And we were ready, y'all. We got everything together to do all of this. Do you know that lady couldn't see herself paying us, a Black company? And that was the only contract we've gotten all the time. It only been 3 months now since we had it. Only one contract, and that was the only proposal we had. My son went in. Woo-wee. You tell me he went in totally professional. I loved it. And then when he got back, I said, now you're going to have to be able to relay it to me so that I could put it down in a proposal. And I had no idea my son had that type of skills, even though that's what his professional is. But Boy, he emailed me it all, and I had to put it down in a proposal. And I put it in a proposal, and I emailed it to the CEO over that facility, and never did hear from her. Called her 6 days later, and she said she's gonna make sure she let me know. She haven't decided as of yet, and she never did call back because they don't want to. Nobody. And what I learned, I'm gonna tell you something I learned. I don't know if y'all have experienced this or not. By me being a person that loves cleaning, and I like cleanness. I don't have a problem with dirty, but I like cleanness. So and I've been like that since I was a little girl. So when I see all these restaurants that where you used to have or to show if the cleanliness, and we used to have to go into restaurants doing they overall cleaning vent underneath their oven and stoves. We used to have to do all of that. That's when I had it years ago, about 25 years ago. So I called myself starting it up since I closed the store. Well, let me start this up. And I already had my EI number. And I said, okay, well, let me just use that and just start it up. And we have not gotten one contract, and it all makes sense. I sit back, and my ex-husband say, but everywhere we go, it's nasty. I said, you know what? I said, you know what I didn't think? See, I know this, and you all don't know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway, even though you ain't going to believe it. United Snakes don't own this country, okay? This country is not owned by the United Snakes. It's not. That's why no one understood the real whole idea was to put everybody in so they can shut the system down. And when you shut it down, the whole idea is to reboot it a different way. And that's what they did successfully. They changed from everything. You know how they were saying defund the police? That was already in the plan. All of that, and not just that, everything from your groceries, from your food. This bioengineer was added to your food. I mean, everything changed, y'all. And when you come back, when they reset it, all of a sudden you go in the store and you look at the stuff. Now you see this stuff. They add stuff to what you eat. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know they did you. That's because they reset this country. This country. I ain't talking about nobody else. They reset it. And when they did it, they didn't do it for the good. It's still going according to the scriptures, okay? And they did that, and they reset everything back. And they didn't set it backwards. They set it forward toward their plan, okay? So that was, they knew already that nobody really owns. Now, people, you got business owners here in this country still owning the land and their companies. That's why y'all didn't catch it. The whole idea was to shut it down. You all never knew. When they did shut it down, they told the business owner, we'll give you a lump sum. You see? And that's what they did. They gave millions of them a lump sum, and they never reopened. That was a part of the plan, is to shut it down and reopen it. And what most of them did, they took the money and ran. Why? They didn't have no other choice. They come to understand that Babylon has already fallen. They had already fallen. And that they had reset everything, and therefore everybody had sold their business, and now they're not under any stipulations as far as, hey, you have to have a grade A in the restaurant, or a 1, 2, 3 level. They don't have to have the sanitation. You know how you used to have to come in and have an inspection to open it up? They don't have to have none of that no more. You go into the restaurant, you see the windows and the doors, fingerprints and food all over the doors. The drive-through is nasty. That's what it is now, y'all. That's the reset. That's how they reset everything and changed it. Okay, so why? Because the country is not owned by the country itself no more, and different other the countries that own it, and over in the Iran, not Iran, it's Arabia, I think it is. They own a lot of business over here. China own a lot of business over here. Everybody owns business over here, and they got to shh, 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 shh. And while they're owning the business, the deal is this. Watch this here. Hey, Deborah, I own that business over there. If I can just get you to manage it, I'm to get 100,000. Let's say no, I'm to get 300,000 a year out of this business. Okay. Now, if you can give me 100,000, and then you take the other 100 and you manage it, and it'll keep the place going. Okay. For the rest of the year. Okay. That's how they doing it. That's how they doing it. And they just sending anybody in. That's why the people don't have no respect anymore in the restaurant. They don't do the cleaning. They filthy. They don't care how they fix the food. They don't care if you like it. They don't care what it look. All of that is over. Fast food restaurants, all of them. Now you got some who owns fast food here in the country. They still got their little. They kept their little business, but most of them sold out. And you couldn't blame them if they gave them the money during the shutdown. It was the deal. A lot of y'all didn't even know that. That's what a lot of them business owners was taking the buyout money. And that's what they did. They knew they was shutting it down. They knew they shut this country down for that reason. And it was like telling them when they come back up, it ain't going to be the same. So they said, well, shoot, I'm going to get out now. Give me the money. I'm gone. So a lot of them closed down. That's why. They took the money and gone. I met probably about 3 elderly European husband and wives, 3 sets. And I was wondering why they were selling their store. Are we moving to Florida? That's it. We finna retire. When they did that shutdown, we took it and gone. So I know all about it. I know it all about it. And that's why they don't care in the fast foods and in the restaurants you go. It's not clean. It's not sanitized. I'm telling you, you don't know what you eating. Stop going to these Arabs and these Arabians, all these people that's opening all these stores. They nasty. Y'all, they trifling and nasty. If you could see what they're doing in the back toward y'all Negro food, you wouldn't go there. So a lot of people, they don't care. They look at food as food. That's all they got going is, oh, I want some food, and they don't care. I've learned to bypass. As hungry, I want just to sit down and get a sandwich or get a hamburger. No, I don't even bypass it. I mean, when I do bypass it, but I don't stop. I keep it going. I keep it going. You see, and this is how, and it looks like this country is standing. It has already fallen. And I noticed something else. So my son, he was talking about, well, we need to do away with the company. So I told him I'm gonna just let it go. So that's what we've been doing. Just let it just go on. I said, but I didn't understand why the father told me I got into this year. How you gonna give me into the end of this year and you ain't suffer me to gain any contracts? I thought that was really strange, you guys. You gave me into this year, and you said the sky's the limit. If I get the contract, if I open the cleaning service, and you said the sky's the limit, but the end is at the end of this year. I'm like, it's just things I was been talking to the father about. It's very confusing. I said, because I sent out altogether 374 letters to business, and you ain't. And then me and my ex-husband come to the conclusion, wait a minute, nobody is hiring cleaning companies. We got doctors, facilities, dentists, commercial contracts. We got all kind of things out there. Nobody's picking it up. And I think that's kind of deep. We got gyms, workout centers, and we got all of them. We just sending out letters out offering what we have, our business that we have, offering service. Nobody. So I just come to the conclusion, wait a minute. This bad boy is down, ain't it? Yes, it is. America is down. It's not coming up. Because the last time I was in business, that booming. That was 25 years ago. No, it's longer than 25 years. How old is Jonah? 85. Or was that 95? No, 95 is when I closed my last, 1995 is when I closed my last cleaning service. So, no, 1998 is when I closed my last cleaning service. 1998 is when I closed it. But, and now, I said, they ain't looking for nobody to clean. They letting the ones they hiring to work there, they letting them do the little cleaning, and they ain't doing nothing because the floors are nasty. Everywhere you go into, it's nasty. And I don't care how far out you go, it still ain't going to look like nothing. They don't care. It's just nothing. They just not there to make sure it's up to standards. So y'all be careful going out here feeling you doing something because you're going out to eat. Just pick your places to go to eat. Just don't go out to just any old place eating. Question: do you think that jab they was pushing was a test to see who would bow down to the power that be? Honestly, the way I'm gonna tell you, this is how I feel. I think it was the mark. I really do. That's just me. I think it was the mark because it fits right in. Let me tell you why. One day I was watching something on the news, and I decided to just sit down and understand Revelation talking about the mark in the right hand or on the hand or the forehead. And when you look up those words in Revelation, I think it's 13. Let me see. Let me see if that's where it's at. Where is it talking about the hand? Okay, here it is. Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand and in his forehead. Okay. Look up right hand in Hebrew. Look up right hand in Hebrew. Tell me what you get. I'm trying to look up to see where I did a study, and I'm trying to see if that was that the right hand I looked up. What did you get? Anybody looked it up? No one looked it up, huh? Let me see if that's it. And he caused both small and great, rich and poor, the free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or their forehead. Did you get it? Symbolic. Is that Hebrew? Of strength, a place of honor, So you got to place the right hand and the strength. Well, let's see here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because where along the line it's connected to the arm. And I thought it said the right hand. And he caused all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead. Their right hand. Let me try this. I'm going to get this here just to show you a little bit something that you never would have thought. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay. What I need you to do is go into Hebrew and look up hand, H-A-N-D. In Hebrew, look up hand. Tell me what you get. Oh, there you go. You already got it. It means arm. You see that? You already got it. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't know you had it. There it is. You see what I'm saying? So while we're looking at the right hand, like it gonna be something in the right hand, it says it can mean the arm. You see, we're seeing it the way they got us wanting to see it. But you have to go back to do your, what he said, rightly dividing the word of truth. You have to go back and try to do some searches, because first and foremost, what is the deal with to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads? I notice it says foreheads with an S, but for hand, it's only said a hand and not hands. I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying. I look at all of that. I look at everything. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Foreheads got an S, but hand, we got two hands. You would think the hands would have an S on it. Okay? And arm. So when you see it saying hand, it could be meaning arm. Okay? It could be meaning arm. Now, what you need to do is go in and say, when they gave that COVID, what arm did they basically put it in? Okay. Now, what I believe, how the head, the forehead, this forehead, as far as it's speaking of forehead, I think it's speaking not like this forehead, but the inner and not the outer. You get what I'm saying? So that's, I don't think they speaking of like up in here. All of these thousands of years, since not thousands, but years they've been saying, you know, the right hand and the forehead. And we're looking forehead and right hand. But don't forget how they smeared it. So we have to wait and see what the Ruach is trying to lead us to. And when it showed me hand was arm in Hebrew, I was like, now Hebrew Israelite, man nor woman, ain't taught these people. See, that's what I'm saying. Just imagine had a lot of people knew that. You see what I'm saying? It's saying it, and this is what they're doing. So I believe that this is me. I haven't got the assurance of it, but I believe that was. I believe that many of people don't understand what they actually had put in them. I really don't. And I know the world have sold us all the mark of the beast and the chip, and showing us the chip and showing us how we're going to buy with it and showing us how it is. That there is the chip that also been covering up, but you notice it still ain't in here. It ain't in this country to the where it should be in everybody around about now. You get what I'm saying? Even doing the ideal of closing the banks, why ain't they instilling the chip to everybody as much as they doing everything else they telling us? They telling us everything, but you don't hear about that chip. You hear about them closing the bank and you ain't gonna be able to get your money out. You hear all about all of this, but you don't hear about that chip. Y'all notice that? I believe you better be very careful. And when you messing with Revelation, I went to Revelation just a few minutes ago. Watch this here. In Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19, it says, I know thy works and the charity of your service. The charity of your service. We are servants of the Most High Yah. The charity of your service, something wrong with that. I don't care if I see it in red. Something wrong. And then it says, and faith. Wait a minute. How is faith going to be there and righteous not right next to it? But charity is. It's not one of the brands. It shouldn't be there. You see? Now I can see if it says, and charity, and I know thy works and thy righteousness and service and faith. Because if you don't have faith, you might as well have righteousness. Then you got patience. Patience is the fruit of the Spirit, y'all. Patience is the fruit of the Spirit. What I'm trying to understand, where did charity end up being the fruit of the Spirit? It's not. So how did it get in there? See, what I'm trying to say, y'all, they didn't mess this thing up so to where you really don't know for sure of anything until the Ruach comes and sit down with you and really teach you. That's all I can say about that. And I believe that means when I took it up, some arm, hand, and forehead. Yep. Okay. So I'm telling y'all, I did the search. So let's do that. You said arm in Hebrew means what? Let's do that. No, you didn't. I knew that I did the study and I said the people don't understand. I believe that was it. That's what I said. Because I said they don't know how to go in here and he, like he said, study to do what? To show thyself. Now just look up arm in Hebrew. Let's see what she's saying here and see what it means. I believe that's what I came up with, because I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. When I read it, I didn't want to bother nobody else, y'all. I didn't want to bother nobody else. I said, okay, Father, I'm seeing this. Don't tell me that's it. And I just kept it to myself that that's what I think it is. No, I don't see I see the arms and the hand, but I don't see the head, the forehead. No, I don't see the forehead, but I see the arm. So and that's where they placed it. That's what I'm telling people. People sitting here thinking he's talking about the right hand. You're gonna get the no, you got it already. It's in your arm. And I wish and I desire each and every last one of you do your search, because it's enough scientists and doctors that said enough. They don't even have to say no more. That's me. They don't have to say no more. They said enough and broke all that down to us. We don't want to know it and we don't want to understand it. That's on us. That's why he said, he that has an ear, let him hear. Don't waste your time with them that don't want to hear. Just say it, and those who have the ear, they gonna hear it. These doctors and scientists out here have given us the full meal deal of what that was. And we still today They broke it down. I watch them every day break even more down. They cannot believe. Let me tell you what they're saying now. What's getting them, and they a lot of them quit. A lot of the scientists and doctors quit. They cannot believe that this country is allowing and not informing the people that all these people that have dropped, and they on there whining and dining, and not dining, whining and crying to the people, and nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. I be listening to them. I said, y'all really did y'all. And they even meeting with each other, having conventions with each other. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with the government and the city. They're going up against them by quitting their jobs, coming out from under them, uniting together and figure out what was that they put in them people. And why did they do it? And them scientists and them doctors, they LO too. They say, we can't believe they did it. And then here go the morgue. Those people who are embalm people and the funeral homes, they got with them too. They got with the scientists and the doctors, and they told them straight up, we lost great money. How did y'all lose it? Because we can't seem to embalm the people, because all of them that got the thing, they had things growing inside of them to stop the fluid from embalming them. So the family choose to cremate. Because they sit here doing and they say it takes, what did he say? They say, I don't know how many hours they say it takes to embalm the full body, but it wasn't that many hours. But they say it won't happen. You can do it even double that time, and they can't get the fluid through there. But what they learned is why. So you know what they did? They went in and started cutting up them organs, them veins and everything. And you should see what they pulling out of it. To me, look like an alien. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what, first thing I saw it, see them, and I'm like, that looks like an alien. And the scientists and the doctors, the morgues, all of them showing us all of it. And we sitting around here killing one each other and acting a fool. And I said, you mean to tell me, I knew it was a DNA, but I didn't know what creature it come from. That's what it was. So I think the mark, right now, from what I was understanding, and in my study time, during that time, that's what I came up with from Matthew's chapter 13, was that, hey, wait a minute, y'all. This is the mark. Young and old, rich and poor, free and bond. Come on now. Come on now. What time period in life has that ever happened? What has happened to us during that time? That should check you right there. We was forced to get things, to get something put in us. And as Hebrew, when you say on hand, it means arm as well. That's why people don't understand. They switch you. When they switch it so you won't be able to know what is actually taking place. And that's why it said hand, but I'm like saying, okay, let me look this hand up. And that's where I had seen arm. But it's something else about the forehead means in Hebrew that blew my mind. I'm talking about all of it just took me off. I said, so this could be it. Now, the Father hasn't assured me that that's what it is. I'm going to tell you that. But whatever it is, this is what's going on. My sister had lost her movement of her whole body, the lower part. And she spoke of something about circulation and everything. I said, and I didn't even tell her. She said the doctors, they went and did tests all over the place and they couldn't find out. But I couldn't move for, I think, a whole month. But that's what it was. And that's what the autopsies, the one that does the more and autopsy, they say that these things are growing in their organs and in their veins. It's growing in there. And it's no reason it should be in their body. They ain't never seen this a day in their life. They've been in business 40 years, y'all. Come on now. What is this stuff growing up in these people's veins and in their body like that? And guess what it's doing? Sudden death, heart attacks, strokes, brain, all of it. They're growing up. It's growing in me. I'm saying it like that because they're gonna shut this one off. I know they are. Did you think I care? I don't care. But that's the truth. It's amazing how all these doctors and science and these Europeans and these Canadians and Russian and all of them can get together and talk about it on these platforms. But when we come on here, y'all, I know something going on. They don't let us say nothing. They don't let us say nothing. The moment you say something, they gonna tag you or something. You see, but that, honey, they just don't know. So Sister Deborah, went past 3 hours, and Sister Deborah, have never said this, but I'm going to say it because I'm going to be obedient. Because he know me. I'm flesh, meaning I don't do it. But Sister Deborah is saying, once a month, I'm going to say this. Once a month, I'm going to say, I have a GoFundMe and a Cash App. Anyone like to donate to the GoFundMe or the Cash App, please do. Anybody else have any questions? Yes, I appreciate you all tuning in, and I will be back. Now, another thing, yeah, I don't know how people are going to get out of that. Now, I know y'all can do. What I think is this: the Father said that you should drink poison and it shall not harm you. So I believe people who are of Yah, even if they took it, it can't harm them. Now that I believe. I really believe that. But I wouldn't go out here taking it. But I'm just still saying those that have taken it and they are in the body of Hamashiach, they are already branded. He already let you know. No poison, no nothing is going to harm you. And another thing about it also is individuals who have taken it, let me tell you something. Father himself delivered people from all kind of sickness and illness and disease. He's the same one with the right hand, the stretched out arm that can deliver anything. So when you get in that mindset and you realize that, hey, this is the one that got that right hand and that stretched out arm, the stretched out arm represent I go anywhere from up and down and all around. And this arm can take my right hand power anywhere it needs to go and bless you. So don't think that because one has taken it, they are just bound to it in all. Yah still is the key to it all. You see what I'm saying? And a relationship with Yah and Yah in you and you in him, anything he can remove. Anything. Because to me, when I looked at Lot being in Sodom and Gomorrah all that time, why did somebody have to go get him out? So he had to be in where he wanted to be. Y'all get the point? But because of who? Abraham. That's right here today. A lot of people don't understand. It wasn't Lot and his family. It was Abraham the Father thought about. Even to the point to go and tell Abraham, I'm going to bring him out, but I'm going to destroy the city. Abraham, I'm going to take it down. You see what I'm saying? And you want me to tell you what they're saying now? They're saying that there was no such thing as Sodom and Gomorrah being taken down by Yah. They said it was an atomic bomb that hit that area, and they just went on and said that was the Most High Yah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what they're saying now. Yeah, I'm just showing y'all how pretty soon, if you don't get enough spirit and truth in you, if you don't get enough spirit and truth and the light in you, in your backpack, you're going to have to believe the lies. Because that's what they're saying now. A lot of them. I said, now, when I heard that, I was like, oh, Father, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? These people done lost it for sure. So Sister Deborah, Yeah, it was real. But now I'm just telling you how our people are in this new age, this new thing. It ain't new, it's been here. But I believe as we were sold everything, like let's take for instance the pig. All I had my mother's cousins now, they would eat everything from a pig. You see what I'm saying? But when they saw that we was eating everything, they sold it to it like it was something to eat. And that's even with a cow or anything. They see that we'll do anything and they'll sell it to us because we just go that low. That's just we're just that type of people. We just go that low. And now I think that something has come. Now watch what I'm saying. Something has come greater than the false prophets. Okay? Because the false prophets were coming and they're how they gonna win a lot of people over with miracles and signs. Okay? What do that mean? False power. But these brothers that's out here and sisters that's out here now spilling this other thing, let me tell you something. They coming from a different end. And I was like, Father, where are they coming from? You see, they coming from a different end. And the end is to go after those that are spirit and truth, those that are marked and branded. That's who they going after. Because I said to the Father, I said, Father, how are they going to come in this day and time only after Judah? Why? Who son them after Judah? Why y'all ain't taking y'all tails over there to the heathens and Gentiles and the Europeans over there? Why y'all so educated, y'all so smart, y'all so intelligent, y'all know the truth. Y'all got Antioch and y'all got Egypt, whatever it is. They got it all packed down of the truth. They said there's no Elohim, there's no Yah, there's no Yeshua. Oh, and Yeshua was just a man, and he was over in Egypt traveling to find out about this other man, which taught him. Woo, Father, they just gone everywhere with it. But one thing they did not know, this sister have tried him for herself and have found him to be greater than whoever they can say is. So they can't whoop that on me. But the problem Sister Deborah do have is how if the gate is already narrow and very few going to find it, I see why. This stuff that's coming out now is powerful. It is powerful. It's going to take you. And then when it takes you, it's going to take you from the outside in. That's how they're going to get you. They're going to get you from the outside in. That's how they're going to get you. They're going to get you from the outside in. And they're going to get you when you're over. You got to have that spirit and truth. You have to understand about the twos, because the twos will let you see their side, but then you'll remain on that spiritual side. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're with the twos, that's what the twos come to do. So you can stay firm in the spiritual journey. Because I believe, like I told y'all wasn't here earlier. It has been about 6 days ago. I was in a dream, y'all. And I was in this dream seeing all this stuff happening. And I do remember the light it was like in the sky leading. And it was like things was going on. And it was just a lot of us. And we was going somewhere. And it was this big light that seems like it was leading us. But it was, y'all, it was a sight to see. And it ran all the way into the morning. And I try to go back to bed to see if I can get back to that dream. Because you know what I said when I woke up? I said, okay, Father, you blanked me. I do know it's something that happened. And I do know it almost, this is what I told the Father in bed, it almost seemed like the journey to Mount Zion. I saw it, y'all. I saw it. And he blanked it out. And I tried to go back to sleep so I can get back to it. Because the whole night until the 8:30, almost 9 o'clock in the morning, I was dreaming this. I looked over to the clock. It's like 9:15 when I got up. But I'm talking about it ran into all the way into the morning. And I'm like saying, well, wait a minute. Hold up, Father. I saw it. I know I saw it. That was a long dream. But he blanked it out. And I didn't pressure the Father. Because if he gave it to me then, he's going to give it to me again. And I believe that was the journey to Mount Zion. That he wasn't ready to give me the fullness, but it's already in me. It's in me, y'all. That's what he did. He blanked it, but it's in me. Because I know for a fact that I dreamed from one day into the next one about this. And I can still say to you, I can see the bright light, like, boy, it was a different kind of light. It was a different kind of morning, evening, dark light, but it was light. It was just strange. And it was leading a multitude of us. And it seemed like we were doing a lot of talking and walking. And that was it. That's the only part of it. And even that is not fully clear. And do you know, I'm not the type of person that don't remember a lot of times my dreams. He don't let the fullness come out because where he has to preparate me for it in the natural. He do. And even you, a lot of things he have to prepare your outer man to be ready to receive that which he's placed in you in the spirit. So it's been 6 days, and I keep saying when I go to bed, I wonder if I'm gonna finish it up. Is he gonna go on and reveal it? Or what, you know what I'm saying? But I don't pressure him because he gave it to me then and I didn't know nothing about it. And it's somewhere, and I said I was gonna tell you all about it, but I was hoping that by now he brought me back around to see it or bring it back to my remembrance, the dream itself. But it's in me, y'all. It's in me. It's in me because I remember seeing it. And as I'm speaking to y'all, I'm still seeing that that day didn't look like the normal day, y'all. It didn't look like the light of the evening or the afternoon. It was just it was just different. The light of it was different, y'all. It was just totally different. And you can tell there was a lot of things going on, and everybody was talking and talking about, let's go this, and it was just like, I said, that got to be. And when I woke up, I was trying to get back to it, but guess what I said? I said, that had to be the mission to Zion. Had to have been. So I sit and I still wait. I'm patient. That's one thing about it. A lot of things we're not in the natural. Guess what? We can be in the spirit. And that's all a lot of things you be seeking. Say, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. You don't have to be like that in the natural, but you can be that in the spirit. Because I am very patient, waiting on the Most High Yah. I don't drill him. I don't force him. I don't anything. Like I said, when I came to this table this morning, I was coming to talk about chosen, to chew them out. And I said, let me get in here in the biblical so I can break down this chosen. And all of a sudden I end up way on y'all just don't look at this. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is my study. Look, you see that? Watch this. You see that? This is hold up. This is really, I'm trying to come one way. You see? I'm sticking on chosen. This was my study this morning. I want to come about and talk about chosen. He switched me to charity. You see, one thing you have to keep in mind, none of it has to do with or about me. It ain't got nothing to do about me. Righteous is my Father's. And if you use charity in the definition of the world, still in all, they can call it whatever they want to. He's still going to be give and gave. And he didn't have to use charity because he is give and gave. Everything y'all did from the kingdom was about giving and giving us. It never had nothing else. We can sit here and lie that his love is our love. We don't even understand his good is not even our good. We don't even understand that yet. Because there was a good in the Garden of Eden. Let me show you what I mean. You remember in the Garden of Eden, there was a tree of knowledge of what? Good and evil. Good and evil. That's a different good. That's not the good of Yah. Because everything he created was what? Good. Everything he created was what? Good. So that one that was in the knowledge of good and evil, that's a different good. because Satan used good for evil. You have to be, now you see what I'm saying, how the tools, you have to be able to have the ruach to separate them bad boys, or you'll get them tied up and twisted. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in, and I will be back. I appreciate you. Shalom and shalom.